Welcome back, viewers, to another exciting episode of Sports Central with your host, Andrew Mackey. Now, before we get started, I need a little bit of refreshment. So I'm going to enjoy a nice sip of Grandpa Durr's Orange Fruit Punch concentrate. Oh, man, I feel better already. On Friday night, the Castle Knights won a very rainy showdown with longtime rival Mater Dei. The two teams were both undefeated going into the night, and the Knights pulled out a 35-21 victory over the Wildcats to stay undefeated. Cameron Paris led the way offensively for the Knights. The senior wide receiver had 6 catches, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Castle's offensive line was also dominant. The big guys up front, Jake McCandless, Kyle Long, Joe Seib, Andrew Gerhardt, and Tim Reeder, paved the way for 411 yards total offensively for Castle, and 262 of those yards came on the ground. So as I said, that 35-21 win kept the Knights undefeated at 8-0, and they have one game left to seal up the undefeated regular season and the SIAC championship. And if they do that, that'll be the first time the Knights were undefeated 2 straight years since 1982 and 1983. And if you remember, the 1982 team won the state championship, so that's pretty good company for the Knights. Their last regular season game is Friday at Memorial. Like Mater Dei, Memorial's a longtime rival of the Knights. They're struggling a bit this year, so the odds are in Castle's favor to lock up that regular season conference championship and undefeated season. In Boonville on Friday, it was a disappointing result for the Pioneers against the South Spencer Rebels. South Spencer pulled out the 7-3 victory because of the rainstorm. It was a very sloppy game, very muddy. Pioneers offense could never get rolling. They took a 3-0 lead. South Spencer answered with a touchdown pass, and Boonville just had no offense from there. Quarterback Evan Hendrickson suffered a shoulder injury, stayed in the game, but the passing game was limited. They struggled to run the ball against the Rebels' aggressive defense. Pretty disappointing loss after two good wins for Boonville. The loss drops Boonville now to 3-5 with one more regular season game against Big 8 conference foe Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel's always good. The Golden Aces are a tough game in any given year, but it'll be very important for Boonville to get one more win and be 4-5 going into the sectional matchup next week. Like Boonville, Tecumseh lost on Friday as well, but their result was a little, I guess I'd say, easier to swallow based on their opponent. The Braves were up against the undefeated 7-0 North Posey Vikings, who were ranked 3rd in 2A, have really dominated teams all year, and Tecumseh was no different. The Vikings won 56-6, led by senior running back Wes Harness, who had 14 carries, 271 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Tecumseh was never in that game. They were down 56-0 before a Kalen Finney touchdown in the 4th quarter broke the shutout. Tecumseh's back at home on Friday with a more even opponent in Eastern Green, who is 5-3. They're both 1A schools. They're in the same sectional, so it's a good matchup for the Braves. And if they can pull out the win over Eastern Green, they would be 5-4, and it'd be Tecumseh's first winning season since 2008, when the Braves went 9-1. And also in football news, the sectional draw was released on Sunday. And in 5A, the Castle Knights travel to Floyd Knobs to face the Floyd Central Highlanders on their opening game of the sectional next Friday. If they win that game, they will face the winner of Jennings County and Bedford North Lawrence at home in Paradise. And then if they win that, they advance to the sectional championship game against either New Albany, Jeffersonville, or North. And one of the big games there is if Castle beats Floyd Central and Bedford North Lawrence beats Jennings County, That'll set up a rematch of the sectional final last year where the Stars upset Castle 26-21 in Bedford. So that'll be a big game in Paradise. In Class 4A, Boonville got a tough draw. They have to travel up to Jasper to face the undefeated. I think they're up to second ranked now in 4A, the Jasper Wildcats, 8-0. Jasper beat Boonville earlier this year, 49-0. So tough opening game for Boonville, but if they can get past Jasper, they'll face the winner of Seymour and Harrison, who are both struggling. So that bodes well for Boonville getting to the sectional championship against either Madison, Wrights, or Central, if they can get over the major obstacle in Jasper to open this sectional tournament. And in Class 1A, Tecumseh faces a very familiar opponent at home. They welcome their major rival, Wood Memorial, to Braves Field at Linville Elementary School. Tecumseh beat Wood Memorial earlier this year, 48-6. Totally dominated that game. Wood Memorial was never in it. And if Tecumseh can win that game, they'll face either North Davies or Union Duggar. Most likely it's going to be North Davies, which will, if you're a Tecumseh fan, you know North Davies has beat Tecumseh with last-minute touchdowns 3 times in a row, once this year, twice last year. So that's going to be a big game at North Davies if it happens. And then on the other side of the bracket, number 1 or number 2 ranked, depending on the poll, Linton Stockton will likely advance to the sectional championship, beating out North Knox and then Eastern Green or Perry Central. But you never know come tournament time. The volleyball sectional was also released on Monday. In 4A action, the Castle Knights will face the winner of Central and Harrison. And then if they can beat either of those 2 teams, they'll be in the final against Wrights or North on next Saturday. And that sectional is at Harrison. The 3A sectional at Gibson Southern. Boonville opens up their tournament play on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, against Mount Vernon at 7:30 at Gibson Southern. That's a tough matchup for Boonville. Mount Vernon is the favorite to win that sectional, the best team in there. Boonville has beaten Bossy Memorial, Gibson Southern, and Princeton, all teams in their sectional. The only one they haven't beaten is Mount Vernon. So tough draw for Boonville. And in 1A, Tecumseh hosts their sectional, and it's all next Saturday. Tecumseh opens up with Cannleton, and then if they beat them, they will face the winners of Northeast Du Bois and Wood Memorial. And in soccer action tonight, one Warwick County team is still alive in the regional semifinals, and that is the Castle Lady Knights. They play in Jasper tonight, 5 o'clock. They faced Terre Haute North Patriots, and if they win, they'll be in the regional final on Saturday. So good luck to the Lady Knights, and good luck to all the teams as they enter postseason play. Once again, I thank you guys all for tuning in. This wraps up this exciting episode of Sports Central. As always, make sure you tune in next week and drink some Duracell.